Good morning everyone, welcome back to another video. We are back on another disaster project. We're not here for long, but we're just helping out again, come to save the day. It's become a main feature of this channel. But yeah, we're here to do one day to help out with this, maybe two, but today we're coming for one day to help with some foundation work. We're all the way in Essex today, and he's one of our subscribers actually, and basically they've had some issues with an extension I've been trying to do for ages. They spent a whole load of money trying to get this resolved or to get them to where they are now, and they're still at foundation level. So I'm going to show you guys what a little bit of the issues that they've had and some of the things that's happened, and I'm going to show you what the remedial works is, what we're going to be doing to fix it, and also as usual try and teach you guys and share some knowledge on how not to get into this situation. So let's have a quick look at the job. It's me and Kenneth today. We're going to see if we can crack on and knock it out for them. Let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so we chose the best day to do this. It is raining and the weather's terrible, but it should be all right a bit later on. But here we are guys. So we got I haven't measured it yet. Actually, I think it's like 3.5 meter extension, which is pretty much the same size as the neighbor's one here. They've got another one on this side as well, the neighbor here. So I think it's pretty much the same size, somewhere between 3 and 3.5 meters. Now, you guys may notice some drainage work has been done. As you can see, there's some drainage work here that's been installed here, some temporary connections and so on. We've got a gully out here, which I believe is probably for a kitchen sink or something like that outside. We also have a inspection chamber that's been added here. Some connections for toilet and all that stuff. There is a toilet on the other side of this wall, and there is going to be another toilet here. So I think these are all provisions for the toilet and sink and stuff that will be in the extension here. Right. So we've got a couple of things. You guys can see we've got some concrete pads here. We've got a concrete pad 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 over here, and you'll see we've got one over there in the corner. Now, what's happened here is when the builder's done the digging and so on, this is another common thing I find again, which is something that's advisable, is to get drain surveys. Okay, some of you might remember on the new build, when we did the new build, we had a lot of issues with drains because even though they had a drain guy come and design the drainage, they didn't do a CCTV survey. So they scrimped on maybe 250, 300 pounds on a 200, 300,000 pound build, which ends up costing them over 10 grand. Because why? They didn't do a survey, so they assumed where the drains were going and they weren't going there. So it ended up being a massive issue. So in this case, they have two sets of drains here. So they have soil and rainwater. So those pipes are taking up quite a lot of space there. So typically you might just have one soil pipe running through your foundation and running through to next door. Okay, in this case I think there's sort of one around here somewhere, and there's another one here somewhere. So you've got quite a big gap here, so you have to bridge over quite a large space. Typically, if the space is not so big, you can just use concrete lintel, usually it's fine. But in this case, they've had to get a structural engineer in to design, because the bridge is so big on both sides. Now on this side again, a similar situation. They've got some drainage here. I'm not sure if there's anything else here, but the engineers designed some concrete lintels to go across here, and they're fine with that because the span's not so big. Same thing on this side here. Obviously you're going to have some drainage running across here for the for down to the inspection chamber. So there's just concrete beams. So we've got 3 concrete lintels going here, but we've got some steel ones here. Now the steel ones have to be protected, and that's why we're here today. So the plan is to try and probably lay these lintels here. There'll be 3 here and there'll be 3 here as a bridge, and then this one here we are going to wrap it in D49 mesh, which is this mesh here, as you guys can see, and we're going to box it all in and get it ready for concrete pouring. So whether we get the concrete poured today is another story, but we will see, because I don't think they actually have any ballast or anything here on site. So we'll see if we can actually do that today. If not, that'll be another day, or that'll be a job that they will have to get themselves out to do. All right, so yeah, that's the main thing. So I'm going to show you guys quickly the drawings of what this is supposed to look like, and then we'll just show you how we're going to do this. Alright guys, so here is a little bit of the plan. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but I'll try and see if I can show you. So here is the existing back wall of the house, and here is the extension. Okay, so I'll probably just have to read it out to you, but what the engineer specified is the steel beams, which are basically these ones here. They've specified them to be 203 UB25s, and they let's see what else is there. They have a steel plate welded to the bottom of them, 300, a 10 mil steel plate, 300 mil wide, welded to the top flange. So at the moment they're at the bottom, so we need to flip those up the other way around. And then it says it needs to be encased with in concrete with D49 mesh and 75 minimum concrete surround. So they want to have at least 75 mil of concrete surrounding this. Now I was told by the customer that the building control guy said he wanted it to be 100 mil around, apparently, which I found was interesting. So we might try to do 100 mil round, but yeah, we need to make sure that it's going to level with everything the right way. So, but yeah, we're going to do some measurements first. First things first is we're going to check that steel and make sure the steel is the correct size before we do anything. Then we're going to make sure we get it in the right location, make sure it's all squared up, and then we can start wrapping it. And then we can start figuring out how we're going to box this and make it secure so that we can fill it up with concrete. All right, cool. Right, so first things first, I'm going to leak in gutter next door. All right, first things first, we need to check the height of that. So we've got a 203. So usually that first number on the steel is the height of the steel. So you look at the height here, you can see here, it's like 20 and a half, roughly 203 mil. Okay, so that's perfect. The plate is a 10 mil plate, looks like 10 mil to me. The width of the plate should be 300 mil, which it is, you guys can see, so that's fine. Now what we do need to do is we need to flip it over, but what I need to do first is to make sure it's in the right place. It looks about the right place here. You can see where this wall is here. You can see there's a starter kit here on both sides, and the reason why that starter kit is here, another part of this drama story, is they got these guys in to do this build, right? And from my understanding, this is what's happened. Because actually you can see loads of concrete down here. You can see all this concrete here that's been cut. You can see where starter wall was. So obviously there was foundation in this area, which you can see someone's broken up. Now what I was told was that the guys came in, they dug the foundation, they poured the concrete, they they started laying blocks, everything, and they hadn't got any building control involved. And eventually I don't know, they called building control in or something, and he basically got it all knocked down. I think they would have gone halfway up the walls already. They had it, so you can see where they had already started going up. And then they had to cut all the foundation out, remove the foundation, I believe, for the concrete, because that was the other thing. They hadn't done any bridging over the pipes. They just poured the concrete over all the drain pipes, which is a massive no-no. So you can see where they've cut the foundation with here, and they've had to break it all out and remove it, which I guess is why this is dug out so wide, because they had to just get all the foundation out, and then they've had to come back in and cast these pads after they've had a design. So absolute nightmare, happens way too often. That's why I say so important. I say this to customers, and I have no problem with a customer doing this with me. If you're dealing with building control, make sure you keep on top of it. If your builder's dealing with building control, make sure you're included in the conversation. So if there are emails or anything, make sure you're being CC'd. If your builder says they're coming to do inspection tomorrow, if you're at work and you're not there, make sure you get a record of that visit, okay? because end of the day, the reality is you just can't trust everybody to do what they say they're going to do. And your builder should understand that. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem if a customer wants to know what was the outcome of an inspection visit, or if they want to see a copy of the text or the email just to verify what they said. So because it's such an important part of the job. If you get this wrong, I think they're in 20 grand here already, and they're at this level, and it's taken a huge chunk of their money, which is now affecting their budget to get the build complete. So we're trying to see if we can help them here. I think they want us to help them at least get it to DPC. They probably want us to do the whole thing, but we just probably don't have the time. So at least if we can get them past this phase, they got something that they can work with. Maybe we can get a bricklayer in who can help them to do the rest. So that's where we're at. So yeah, so anyway, we've got the pads, we're here, so everything's good. We spoke to building control as well. He's seen all this stuff, as he just wants to see pictures of this being wrapped and then boxed up and everything. And he says we can pour the concrete, and he wants to come back when the DPC is done. So once the concrete is all poured, then DPC can happen, you know. The only thing is, where the steel is now, it's definitely further off from where those walls were. So this is definitely going to have to come in. So yeah, it's just where the foundation is now, so not really much can happen about that. But yeah, all right, cool. So first things first is I'm gonna put the camera down. Kenneth's gonna give me a hand. We're gonna try and flip this over, and then get it into position and square everything up, and then we're gonna wrap that with some of this mesh. Hopefully the customer's got enough mesh there, and then we can start figuring out how we're gonna box this up. Whoever someone was trying to box this in with this bloody, apparently they were trying to use this. This is too thin anyway. We need to use that 18mm ply that we got. Yeah, so we won't use any of that. We'll have to use some of the ply that they got. All right, so let's flip it that way and then pull it back. Yeah, shouldn't be too heavy. Oops, hold on. Stone there, pad stone. There's a pad stone there. Yeah, hold it. Yeah. Hold it. Tilt it. Right, I just want to lift it back. Tilt it a little bit more. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna lift. Let me lift my side first, one side at a time. That's it. Bring yours back. Okay, a bit more. Okay, let's tilt it. That's it. Hold it there. There you go. That's it. So it's on a pad stone. They put the pad stones in already, which is fine. So, cool. We just need to square it up now. So get the square, and then square it up with this wall, and then we'll do some. Let's flip that one over first, and then we can square it and do some measurements. I don't know if this is. Let me check this first. Let's check this first. Make sure we got enough. Because if there's not enough, we can tell them now. They can go and get some. Because I have a feeling it's not enough. Because it's all folded, isn't it? It's all folded. It's probably one big sheet. It normally comes in like a 4.8 by 2.4, which should be enough from what I calculated. But let's see what we actually have. If not, we need to send them and go get some of that now. Right, so let's open it this way. Sorry. Open it up. Go on, straighten that. Straighten it down. Yeah. Right. Just open it this way. This way? Yeah. Two of them together. Two together. This way. Yeah. Right, let's see what size that is. Right, guys, so I'm going to show you just something, a little technique which might help for squaring. You can use it to double check your squaring, and also if you just haven't got a big square, especially if you've got a big square meter and you're measuring certain things like this could help, a little technique. So there's a, if you need to get a right angle, we need to get a 90-degree angle here, okay? So this wall and this steel here needs to be 90 degrees to square it off with the house, all right? So a technique you can use, a rule, is 3, 4, 5, okay? So you can do on one straight edge, 3 meters, 3 meters. It's a ratio, 3, 4, 5. You could be 3 feet, it could be 3 meters, it could be 3 centimeters. We'll use 3 feet. I think that will be best for the space that we've got. So if I marked 3 feet from that corner on the wall, all right, which is right here, or 3 foot, let's say, 3 foot here. And if I measure from the wall this way, 4 foot on this way, 4 foot is here, we've got 4 foot here. Then when I measure from that point on the wall to that point on the edge of the steel, we should get exactly 5 foot if we're square. So I think we've already squared this one up. That's it here, bang on. It's not gonna work, I have to take off the face thing. You got it? So if you guys can see it, it's bang on 5 foot. So that did work. Yeah. So yeah, that's just a little technique, and it just gives you help. The longer the distance you do, the better. If you used to measure 3 meters that way and 4 meters that way, then you would need 5 meters on the diagonal, yeah? And that would help you to square it. So all you would do is you'd make sure that that corner is your pivot point, stays where it is, and then you would just swing that side left or right to get it to line up with the 5 meters on the end of the tape. All right, so just a little technique that might help. So we've checked that, we've measured both sides now. We have 5.3 meters from the outside of both steels and 5.3 meters on the outside of both steels, and we squared them both off the wall on both ends. So we're pretty happy with where it is now. So where it is where it's gonna stay. We are gonna start wrapping this. We need to wrap the whole thing, and then we're gonna start seeing how we can box this off. Guys, so we have wrapped the first one. We actually double wrapped it because we had a lot of extra material. So you guys can see we've wrapped it all the way around like that. So the point of this is to reinforce the concrete that we're gonna pour around this. Obviously concrete's gonna go all underneath there, it's gonna go all at the bottom, and it just helps to reinforce it. Obviously it's a bridge, so it's supporting the walls, you know. It's self-supporting, so that's what that's for. So we're gonna start boxing. It's gonna start by cutting the piece underneath. So we're gonna get that first piece cut from here, and then we're gonna run it across onto that concrete foundation. So what we're doing is, we know that we've got 30 centimeters wide, so we're gonna give 10 centimeters either side, which is what builder control asks for. So our first sheet will be 50 centimeters wide. So we're gonna cut that piece now, and then put that in position, and then measure the two up stands, should we say, and then we'll use some battens to secure the top so it doesn't move about. Obviously we need to support the bottom as well, probably use some bricks or something to support underneath, and then you can pour the concrete on it. Alright guys, quick update. We've been busy and we've done quite well. So we've actually managed to finish one of the boxing in. It's been very challenging to try and do this. So many little cuts and stuff, and you've got to make sure it's stable. The base of it's got to be stable, so when you pour the concrete, the bottom doesn't collapse and that the sides don't drop down, because we had to get it to a certain height so it matches with the brickwork for DPC and all that stuff. So I'm going to show you quickly what we've done. We're going to take a lunch break now, so when we come back we're going to attack and do the other side. Alright guys, so here we are. This is the first boxing in that we've done. So a couple of things that we did. So we started off with the base timber. So there is a timber piece on the bottom, all the way down the bottom there, as you guys can see. And then we fitted the two sides, which we screwed to the sides. We put these stakes in the ground as well. Those stakes help in to basically sort of float it all in the air, because obviously it's hollow at the bottom. This side is sitting on the concrete, so we've got a little bit of support here, and also we've put in these braces across to make sure that it stays in the right place. So we've got 50 centimeters all the way around, well 50 I think on the tops, on the top and bottom, and I think 40 on the height, yeah, so that's it. So we've pretty much done it all the way around to here. Patched all these little gaps up. There was one or two small little holes. We just filled them up with plastic bags and stuff, and that just blocked it all up. But yeah, this is pretty much as it is. You can see we put the mesh in as well, and obviously, and so we've got 10 centimeters from the top as well. Both sides are level this way, both sides are level that way, and that actually brings the concrete when the concrete is done, we work the concrete up to the top of this brick here. So DPC is actually one brick above that, so concrete is going to come up to here, so it's only going to be one row of block, and then this DPC basically on here, one row of bricks, sorry, should I say, up to here. Obviously when the concrete lintels go across here, there'll be a lot more brickwork to bring it up to level here. Now what I haven't checked, which is what I'm going to check in a bit, is what the level of that pad is there, because looking at it, it should be level with this, if they've got it where it should be. I don't know, we didn't put that in, but we're gonna hope that it's one level. I'm assuming it will be one brick above DPC. I don't know why they put this pad here for, because really it could have not been there and just had that concrete pad. It seems as if they added this one on top after. God knows what was going on, but we will check to see if it's level with this. If it isn't, then it's got to be made up when they're doing the brickwork somehow. But again, we didn't pour this. Right, so our level was just a little bit short, but we made a makeshift by joining another level to it. So if you look here, from the top of the concrete, which will be pretty much, top concrete is going to be here, you can see our bubbles level. And if you move across onto the next level, we are also in the bubble, and that is sitting on that pad. So the top of ours is actually spot on level with that, so thank God that will work. So once that is, yeah, literally it's just a matter of doing the brickwork and bringing it up to both pads on this side and the same thing on that side. So we've got to make sure that we do the same level on that side, so that that lintel is also one brick below DPC. Update. So we have done the second box. I don't know if you guys can see it, probably not behind me, but I'll show that to you in a minute. So we have basically finished in all the boxing in, which is the main job we came here to do. What we're going to do is we're going to lay these 6 lintels as well. So this is just try to get these last bit of bridging done, and then pretty much after that it's going to be brickwork up to DPC. So we'll see. You know, the rest is really kind of up to them at this stage. What we'll see, we may be able to get involved, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But let me show you guys what we did anyway, and I'll show you what we've got left to do. All right guys, so here we go. Here is the second boxing in that we done here. You guys can see it. We basically put all the mesh in, and we boxed it, put the stakes in again, level it all up. It's all level across here. You guys can see right up to here. That's the space. So now we're going to be laying concrete lintel from here across to where Kenneth's foot is. We're going to be doing it across to there. So that's what we're going to be doing. Basically from this bridge here across to this bridge here, and then we'll also be doing the same thing from that side to that bridge up there or over there. So we're just mixing up a little bit of cement, just mixing it on that concrete there. We didn't come prepared for all this, but this is what we're basically doing. So yeah, they're normal concrete lintels. I'll show you those as well. We've checked the leveling. So this concrete pad, thankfully, is perfectly level with that pad here. When you're doing these, you need to make sure you have at least, typically it's at least 150 mil bearing, which means at least 150 mil of the lintel needs to sit onto that, just to make sure that it can transfer the load onto the pad properly. Now we've got loads of space. We've got almost 30 centimeters, 300 millimeters either side of our lintel. We've already measured that, so that's fine. So it's perfectly level here. Checked it with the level. The other side not so much. It's probably about an inch out on that side there. So we'll level it as much as we can. It's going to get a couple of layers of block work and brickwork to come up anyway, so it can get straightened out then. But we can only do what we can with the unevenness. The further foundation is higher than this pad is here. So yeah, we're gonna mix up a little bit of this, and then we're gonna try and lay these concrete foundations.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
guys, we are done for today. Bang on 5 o'clock. We managed to get it done. We're going to show you guys what it looks like. All right, guys, so here we are. So we put our lintels in, as you can see, as the guy said on drawing. We also put a little bit of mortar in there just to stop them from rocking. Someone's going to step on that. I know that for a fact. There's the 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and you can see how much bearings we've got. Loads of bearings. We've got about 40 centimeters on that side, 30 centimeters that side, 30 there, 30 there. Everything's been boxed in. This side's all been boxed in. So when this is all cast and the boxing comes off, I think they've got to run a few bricks in here to square off this corner. Then 2 courses, we've got exactly 150 mil there, exactly 150 there, same thing there and same thing there. So 2 courses of brickwork will take them up to height, and then I think there's 1 course on top of the steels to take it to DPC height. So yeah, at least they can get the DPC. They want us to do it. Whether or not we can is another story. We'll see. We'll think about it. We'll crunch some numbers and see if we can do it. And then obviously this whole thing needs oversighting done. But otherwise, guys, that is it. So yeah, guys, that's it. Until the next video. Hope you guys like this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you do. And we see you in the next one. Take care. Thanks for watching.